Sam's question is up next. It says, I have one stock that is on a tear. It's NVIDIA.
Of course. What's funny is before you even said it, I knew it was going to be, watch this, NVIDIA.
Is that how you say it? I'm always self-conscious.
People got so mad because I kept saying NVIDIA. Guys, come on. I work in the space. It's what rolls off the tongue. There's a lot of things I don't say perfect. NVIDIA was one of those.
NVIDIA. So I did say it right.
You did. You said
so
it right.
Proud.
No big deal.
Okay, anyway, back to Sam's question. So he's got this one stock that's on a tear. It is now 25% of my retirement picture. Should I sell to rebalance or wait to just buy other assets? I am 24 and the stock is in a brokerage account. 25% of his retirement picture.
Yeah, this is one of those hard ones, Sam. Because if I tell you you're too concentrated and go sell it, surely NVIDIA is going to go up another 1,000%. If I tell you to hold it because this is super, super unique, surely NVIDIA is going to tank tomorrow, right? Like that's not just kind of the way. And we all approach our investing decisions this way. Here's what I can tell you. If I don't know why you have NVIDIA. Like I don't know if you bought it. I don't know if it's part of your company. I don't know if you work for them. I don't know if you have like employer stock or options or RSUs or whatever. But what we do know is it's been on this amazing tear. Like this isn't a perfect example, but I'm gonna do an analogy that's not perfect. We're kind of known for analogies that are close but not perfect, like trolls and stuff. When you win the lottery, the thing that you don't do is you don't go cash in your money and then go buy a whole bunch of other lottery tickets. And I would argue if you have this one stock that has just done amazing things, at some point you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, right? You got to know how to do that. But I am of the opinion it's probably not an all or nothing. So if this represents 25% of your retirement portfolio, one of the things I would counsel you on if you were a client is, hey, is there a way that we ought to systematically and strategically think about divesting this? Because you know that we say that no concentrated stock position should represent more than probably 5 to 10% of your total financial picture. And if it does represent more than 5 to 10% of your total portfolio, then you're in a position where you are at high risk. Highly concentrated positions equate to higher risk. Higher risk can equate to higher reward, but does not always equate to higher reward. People like to think that the more risk I take, the more reward I will receive. That's not right. The more risk you take, the more reward you could receive, but it could also go the other way. That's why it is called risk. So one of the things you have to think about is, all right, how do I, if it's 25% of my retirement picture, 25% of my portfolio right now, what are some ways that I can get it down? In my mind, there are two I think that make a lot of sense. The first is systematically divesting. Just like we like to dollar cost average into positions, I think we can dollar cost average out of positions. And we tell people a lot of times to do this. Like we've had folks who've had like big run-ups in Tesla stock, big run-ups in Amazon, big run-ups in NVIDIA. Hey, why don't we put together some system where we can divest this? Because whenever we don't know what's going to happen, if I don't know the outcome, if I don't know if something's going to go up or going to go down, I want to remove emotion from the equation. And one of the best ways I can remove emotion is putting in a system. So, hey, every single month, I'm going to sell, you gave me a percentage, not a dollar amount. So honestly, it's different if 25% represents $250,000 or $2,500, but I'll try to speak to percentages. Hey, if my goal is to trim 15%, over the next 10 months, should I sell 1.5% of my holding? I'll figure out whatever the mathematics on this. Maybe it's $5,000. Every month I'm going to sell $5,000. Now, what ends up happening is if NVIDIA keeps going up, then I actually am probably going to have to do it for more than 10 months. If NVIDIA goes down, I have to do it for less. But it gives me a system to put in place. Well, while I am doing that, the other thing that I can do is I can save around it. I can increase my savings rate and build a portfolio around it so that as my portfolio grows, the portion that NVIDIA represents becomes smaller and smaller. We've done this with clients. Like we've done this with clients who have huge wins in a Tesla or an NVIDIA or a, fill in the blank of another company that's done really, really well. But it might be a stock that they're really, really excited about. I mean, again, this is sort of like objectively looking at it. NVIDIA is kind of interesting. There's some really cutting edge technology that's taking place in our world right now, and it seems like NVIDIA is kind of on the front end of that. that might suggest that it is a great stock to hold long term. So I'd figure out how to put together a plan that capitalizes on the opportunity that exists there, but does not sacrifice my financial well-being by not taking some of the chips off the table. Because just like I told you, we've had people that became wealthy because of Netflix, because of Apple, because of NVIDIA. We've also had people, and I literally mean this, who have seen millions of dollars evaporate because they did not divest. They did not take some of their chips off the table. They did not put together a system. Well, Sam, what you don't want to do is live in that regret place where you say, man, I watched this thing go up to here. It would have changed my life, changed my trajectory, changed my outcome. But because I got greedy, I allowed myself to ride that emotional roller coaster, and I never backed off the risk. I never capitalized on the win that I had. And so I would encourage you to kind of think through that.